We've mistaken comfort for care and pity for love. Modern compassion tells you, it's okay, don't push yourself, take it easy. You've been through enough, you deserve rest. But sometimes the most loving words are get up. We live in an age that has confused compassion with permissiveness, that has redefined empathy as agreement, that has turned support into enabling. And in doing so, we've created a crisis of fragility disguised as kindness. Look around. Our culture celebrates emotional safety so much that truth becomes offensive. We protect feelings more than we protect growth. We prioritize comfort over character. But here's what the ancient Stoics understood that we've forgotten. Real compassion isn't shielding someone from life, it's equipping them to face it. Stoic compassion was never about indulgence, it was about empowerment. When Marcus Aurelius showed compassion to his people, he didn't lower standards, he raised them, because he believed in their capacity to rise. When Epictetus showed compassion to his students, he didn't soften truth, he delivered it clearly, because he respected them enough to be honest. Real empathy isn't protecting someone from discomfort, it's walking with them through it. But modern compassion has become something else entirely. It's become the practice of never letting anyone feel bad, even when feeling bad is exactly what they need. Let's define what we're actually seeing. Soft empathy says, I validate your feelings, and stops there. Hard empathy says, I validate your feelings, and I believe you're capable of overcoming them. Soft empathy says, you're perfect as you are. Hard empathy says, you're valuable as you are, but capable of more. See the difference? One keeps you stagnant, the other propels you forward. Modern culture has embraced soft empathy completely. We've decided that the most compassionate thing you can do is agree with someone's feelings, validate their perspective, and never ever suggest they might need to change. But this isn't compassion, it's sabotage with a smile. When you constantly rescue people from difficulty, you teach them to fear discomfort. When you never let them struggle, you rob them of the opportunity to build strength. When you protect them from every consequence, you prevent them from learning cause and effect. This is not love. This is keeping someone perpetually weak so they'll perpetually need you. Real compassion sometimes looks harsh because real compassion cares more about your growth than your comfort, more about who you're becoming than how you're feeling right now. Seneca said, fire tests gold, adversity tests strong men. But he also practiced profound compassion. He wrote letters to his friend Lucilius filled with encouragement, support, and genuine care. So how do we reconcile these? Simple. Seneca understood that love tests character. To truly care for someone is to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. It's to say, you're capable of more than you're showing, instead of, it's not your fault. It's to say, you can handle this, instead of, let me fix it for you. It's to say, I believe in your strength, instead of, I'll protect you from every difficulty. This is Stoic compassion. It's tough because life is tough, and the kindest thing you can do is prepare someone for reality, not shelter them from it. Think about it this way. If you knew someone was about to climb a mountain, would compassion mean telling them the mountain doesn't exist? Would it mean carrying them up? Would it mean pretending the climb will be easy? No. Compassion would mean helping them train, giving them accurate information about the difficulty, equipping them with skills, and then trusting them to make the climb.
True compassion says, I'll walk with you through pain, but I won't protect you from it. Because the one who avoids pain also avoids growth. The one who runs from difficulty never builds strength. Let's dig into why modern compassion creates fragility. When you protect someone from all negative feedback, you prevent them from developing resilience. They never learn to regulate their emotional responses. They never build tolerance for discomfort. This is why we see adults who crumble at constructive criticism, who experience panic attacks over disagreements, who interpret every boundary as abandonment and every standard as oppression. They were never allowed to build psychological immune systems. Just like a physical immune system needs exposure to pathogens to develop antibodies, a psychological immune system needs exposure to difficulty to develop resilience. But modern compassion has become psychological bubble wrapping. We're raising people in sterile emotional environments and then wondering why they can't handle the real world. The research is clear. Children who face age-appropriate challenges develop better coping mechanisms. Students who receive honest feedback perform better. Adults who experience setbacks build stronger resilience. But challenge, feedback, and setbacks all feel uncomfortable, so soft empathy eliminates them, and in doing so, eliminates the very experiences that build strength. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. But if you never experience anything difficult, you never learn how to react well. Your default becomes panic because you've never practiced calm.
This is the tragedy of modern compassion. In trying to prevent all suffering, it guarantees future suffering, because eventually reality shows up. And reality doesn't care about your feelings. So what does real compassion look like in practice? First, tell the truth with kindness, not cruel honesty, but honest kindness. If someone you care about is making destructive choices, the compassionate thing is to say so, not to judge, but to illuminate, not to attack, but to alert. I care about you, and I'm concerned about this pattern I'm seeing, is more loving than silent agreement. Second, set boundaries with care. Boundaries aren't punishment, they're protection, both for you and for them. I love you, but I can't enable this behavior is compassion. I'll support you, but I won't rescue you from consequences is love. Third, believe in their capacity. The most disrespectful thing you can do is assume someone is too fragile to handle truth or too weak to overcome challenge. When you constantly protect someone, you're implicitly saying, I don't believe you're strong enough to handle this. That's not compassion, that's condescension. Fourth, model resilience. Show them what it looks like to face difficulty without collapsing, to experience emotion without being controlled by it, to struggle and still stand. Your example is more powerful than your words. Fifth, celebrate effort, not just outcomes. Show them that the attempt matters, that courage in the face of fear is victory even if the result isn't perfect. This builds resilience. This creates strength. This is real compassion. In a fragile world, truth is the rarest form of kindness. So care deeply, but never lie in the name of love. Support generously, but never enable in the name of compassion. Believe fiercely in people's potential even when they don't believe in themselves. The world doesn't need more people who agree with everything. It needs more people who care enough to challenge, more people who love enough to be honest, more people who respect others enough to hold them to standards. This is the path of the warrior philosopher, compassion without weakness, strength without cruelty,
truth without harshness. Because real love strengthens, fake love weakens. Real compassion builds, fake compassion crumbles. Real care challenges, fake care coddles. You know this is true, because the people who changed your life weren't the ones who told you what you wanted to hear. They were the ones who loved you enough to tell you what you needed to hear. Be that person for others and for yourself. If you understand this truth, comment below "Real love strengthens" and subscribe to Mind Armor, because we don't spread comfort, we spread consciousness. We don't enable weakness, we build strength. We don't trade truth for popularity, we honor reality over feelings. This is where minds are forged. Welcome to the path.